Finally, team and communication. Now, how many of you guys, I remember when I started this back in the day, I thought that vision, mission, having a vision statement, mission statement, points of culture, what a bunch of fluffy crap. That's not going to put more money on the bottom line. Well, think about this one. If everyone in your company cared as much about your company as you did, what would your business look like today? If everyone was vested in the business, they knew where we were going. They're part of the planning process. I know the past companies I've had, if I didn't involve everyone in the planning process, in educating them on where we are, where we're going, what's working, what isn't working, and concentrated on the systems, I would have gone out of business the first couple of years. Especially in a highly competitive industry like the supermarket business, where the good ones were pulling 2% net. So you can imagine if you didn't plan very well, and you're doing 50, 60, 70, 80, $100 million a year, and you're off by a little bit, your compass is a little bit off, you're not running on solid systems, you're going to be flipping chalupas at Taco Bell. So really blending this in. What's the vision of the company? What's the mission of the company? In points of culture, this is a really, really huge one. And it's really looking at what are the rules of the game of working at your company. What kind of person does this person have to be when they're hired? Ray, was that one of the first things that I had you go through?
Oh yeah.
Because you can be the best salesperson, best marketing person, best IT person, whatever. But if you're always a half glass empty person, if you're, because I mean, I'm sure we all know 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 of those people. But if you're bucking the system and you're not on the same page as a person as the rest of the company, you're going to fall down. And that is our first form of vetting when we bring people onto our company. If they don't match our points of culture, who we are, I don't care if they were the best salesperson that ever walked out of any company in the world. I don't care. We've actually turned away people like that, where they had great results, but they were a jerk. They cared about themselves. They did not care about the whole. They cared about number one. And those people get their asses kicked out of that door faster than they came in. Not because I don't want to grow the company, but if you have a person that is all about them and can't mesh with the others, it's a very painful process. Because I'm sure none of you have ever had one of those bad eggs in your company, ever. Have any of you ever had one of those bad eggs in your company and finally you just got sick of them after a while and threw them out, or it was a mercy killing and they retired early or something like that? Yeah, exactly. But what it feels like in the business after this person is gone, it's almost like someone pumped different air into the room and everyone is happier. Make sense? And this is building a company off of a plan and having rules, having points of culture. Because if you don't have solid points of culture and it's created organically by the company, I've never seen one of those that were good. If people are not involved in the growth of the company, if people are not kept in the loop, if people are not part of the growth, it is very difficult for them to take ownership of what they're doing. And the vast majority of people, talking about just the United States, the vast majority of the people don't like their jobs. They feel like they're just number 56255. Get over here, sir. And they're not part of the growth. Their opinion is not valued. And if you don't value the opinion of your team, maybe they shouldn't be on your team. It's very hard to have ownership of something that you're not part of. Hey, do this. Hey, do that. These are not the people that stay a little later. These are not the people that get to work a little earlier. These are not the people where if they have an idea on the weekend, they grab out a pad of paper and make some ideas so they could bring it into the boss because they know the boss is going to value their opinion. Without having that core group of people, it's very difficult to build a strong company. I mean, look at Aaron Rodgers. He's a pretty damn good quarterback. Could you imagine if the Packers stopped with him and they didn't put a lot of effort into hiring the other guys? Or they didn't communicate with the other guys, you know? I mean, Aaron Rodgers would have a couple splints, he would have a bunch of missing teeth, and he would never play football again. Or if they came onto the field, they start at noon and they all get together, they get there 15 minutes early, they're saying, hey, how's your week been? I haven't seen you since the last game. And they start playing, how well would they be? Hell, they'd be like the Detroit Lions. Sorry.